trying to beat the sun up. Grinding hard for mine to see a meal before my sun's up. All I'm saying is I'm trying to get my funds up. Gotta stay strapped, case these niggas.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining in on another episode of Run It Back CT, where we highlight the area's greats from yesteryear, and we also, we trying to be, well, not trying, but we are a platform of information. We talk about sports, and, when you guys tune in, I like my listeners and the audience to, gain something from it. Whether it's, I didn't know this person did this, or I didn't know this person did that, or I didn't know, different systems operate like this and that. So this episode today, is nothing short of information. You know what I'm saying? And we getting the information from a highly skilled, highly knowledgeable individual, that's going to come forth and give us some gems that we need, that the kids need, the parents need. We all need to hear it, you know what I mean? Now, without further ado, this individual's coming from Windsor, North Carolina. That's where he made his imprint. But he traveled, Basketball took him, up and down in terms of highways, valleys, and everywhere, out the country, back, and, so he's been around the universe. So he's coming with a wealth of knowledge. And he's made his stamping grounds in Waterbury, and, he's, highly, everybody, a lot of ball heads, know this individual. He's impactful in Waterbury, even in the Valley. To this day, he got a senior, the senior run, they do in the Valley. I want to say Derby. They, you got to be like 45 and over though, but they still getting it in. He's still out there getting it in 3 days a week. Without further ado though, I'm blessed. I'm glad to introduce this young man, this gentleman by the name of Bernard Cooper, man. Thanks for joining in, man.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yes, man. I'm glad you was able to, sit down. We're going to chop it up.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Been blessed, highly favored. I'm doing good.
Yes.
I'm doing really good.
For sure. Well, again, man, welcome, And I know, we in these chilly months, but, we still find a way to make it happen, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, let's just start. I know we talked a little bit off camera, but, just kind of like to extend our conversation. How did, basketball, how did this all come to life for you?
It started at an early age with my parents, my mother, my father, my stepfather, all were sports. Sports was heavy and deep, and then I had to live up to my father's name because all state, all conference.
Okay.
You mentioned the name, there it was. So when I started coming up in the 6th grade, I was known as James, little James' son.
James Cooper?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why I changed my ways and called myself Bernard.
Okay.
It was hard to live up to his expectations, but I think I did fairly well for myself.
Yeah. Now, just talk about like some of the so playing in the South. What would you say some of the difference of style that you would see as opposed to up north?
I would say down south, growing up down south, playing the backyard, dirt backyard.
Yep.
You had the basketball goal on a 2x4 pole. There was no concrete unless you went to the bigger cities, but you basically learned the value of just enjoying a game. Being outside, just you in the 90-degree weather.
Yeah.
Just going at it hard, betting your game, just trying to basically focus on being that man that I'm going to be the next person in line after this next person leaves.
Yes. Now, and this, the thing is, too, when you're playing in those warmer climates, you have more access. It's never a shut-off, switch. You can play all year round. Whatever sport you play, you can play it all year round.
Yes.
You're not hindered by the cold weather
that
we get up here.
Definitely not. Down south, eventually, we began to get basketball courts outside, caged in. But like you said, there were street lights that stayed on all night.
Okay.
So we had the basketball courts. When you go to the city of Windsor, there was basketball courts.
Okay.
Guys would get there at 9 o'clock in the morning and wouldn't leave till like 6 o'clock at night. And it was full course running, and you're playing against some of the veteran guys. Like, there were guys down there taller than me that I had to go against. And I had to make a name for myself.
Okay.
you were thrown in the Lions Den, and at 6-year-old playing against 30-year-old guys.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
But they threw you in that early.
Yes.
Really?
I know who your dad is, so let me see if you got it.
Okay.
So
it was like that.
it was like that. You know, you had to learn the game the hard way. It was I didn't have, training camps. My training camp was when I got out of school for the summer, you go downtown and you play basketball with the older guys.
That's it.
You get the court burns early in the 6th, 7th grade. You get the elbows. You get the, no, he's not ready.
He's not ready. Wow. Now early on, were you relatively immersed into the big man role early?
Somewhat. In the 6th, 7th grade, I was like 6'2" or 6'3". I didn't hit my growth spurt till like the 8th grade. I jumped to 6'5".
Okay.
So now I really had to learn how to be a big man. But I'm still, like I said, in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I don't really know about being a big man. I just know how to make a layup, block a shot, and rebound.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I was learning to do. And then, eventually as watching the older guys, going to the high school game and watching the great players like we had, like the Lester Lyons, the Brent Jones, these guys, watching them play, and, it just made me realize, and then walking into high school and seeing my dad's name on the wall, football, basketball, Uncle Larry's name, football, just seeing my family heritage in that
So they were really prominent in
Yes.
that town.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
And just walking in that gym, and then when you see the guys like, oh, that's his son. And I'm looking like, I'm already recognizing, don't even know it. I'm just trying to, fill my place out in basketball.
Yes. Wow. Now, would you say, like, basketball has always been your thing, or you kind of, like, tried everything?
I tried football once. Once I got that one hit,
Uh-oh.
I dropped my cleats, I dropped my mouthpiece, the helmets. I'm good. I'm good.
You're like the third person that told me once they got that
one
nice hit.
Man, it would set you straight for a while. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I turned in my uniform the next day.
Oh, man. Shout out to Pig, George Washington. That's what happened to you too, bro.
Oh yeah, my buddy Pig. Yeah.
Oh man. So you channeled your energy into basketball.
Yes.
And that's something that probably would you say the skill set came natural, being that you.
Actually, it took a while.
It took a while.
It did, because once my growth spurt hit me, I'm not gonna lie, I was real clumsy.
Okay.
My dad used to tell me, you can't walk and chew gum at the same time. You don't know if you're gonna choke or fall.
Right.
So it was a down south saying. So I was real clumsy. So what he did was, he built me a basketball goal in the backyard, just had me go out there, just throw the ball off the side of the barn, just catch it, get my hand-eye coordination ready.
Off the side of the house.
Off the side of the house.
Okay.
Because I could catch it, but actually to catch it, and my hands were big, but they weren't ready to actually catch the ball.
Right.
So
okay.
Eventually, as time went on, I had a cousin named Irvin Simmons who came down from New Jersey. Now that's when the street swag came in and the ball handling came in. So he taught me how to catch the ball, palm it, grip it, move with it.
Okay.
So I had more or less, like I said, I didn't really go to a camp until like my freshman year in high school. I went to the North Carolina State basketball camp held by Jim Valvano before he passed away.
Okay.
So I was there as a freshman, but it was all junior and seniors.
How you manage that?
Because of the name.
Wow. Okay.
So I went there, I learned the skills, got a little comfortable with it. Of course I was nervous. I'm playing against guys 18, 19. I'm 13, 14.
Right. You had some height on you though.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what kind of fooled everybody.
Right. Gotcha.
So it helped me in the long run when my parents sent me there. Mm-hmm. So then once I came back, as my freshman year, I came in at 6'6".
Freshman year?
Freshman year. 6'6" as a freshman. And like I said, my hand-eye coordination still wasn't there, but the coach saw in me what, the potential I had, because he said, listen, your dad was the same way.
Yeah. Okay.
My dad was like 6'5", like 230, 240.
Yeah.
But he predominantly played football, but basketball was in his DNA too.
Okay.
So once, the time went on, they worked with me. They had me stay after school. My mom would give me the key, because she was the secretary for the school system. My mom would give me the key to the gym.
Oh, man.
She would have me go in there just practice by
got
myself.
all access to the gym?
Oh, man.
Okay.
She was the secretary at Westbury T Elementary, and she would give me the key and just let me just play by myself.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could do was dunk. So I just practiced on dunks. I didn't practice on shooting free throws, hook shot. It was just how far I could take off.
Yeah.
But, I could never do that in the game because there was people, in the middle. So I had to learn from the older guys at Bertie High School to really teach me how to play the game.
Okay. All right. So now your freshman year. So now when would you say the game started really slowing down and started coming to your own?
I want to say the end of my sophomore year going to my junior year, when I really, really sat down and just looked at the potential that these other guys had with me and before me.
Okay.
And I'm saying, I'm just as good as them, so why can't my name be with my dad's name? So that made me go and be like, I'm going to have my name in that Hall of Fame too.
I'm having it in there too. Okay.
So once that began, I started working on my game, using the jump rope, working on the free throws, have my boys. We all meet back at my mom's house, so we'll go downtown to play basketball. Now I'm playing with the 30-year-old guys. They like, oh, I remember you couldn't even do this. Now you jumping over everybody.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to put in my work, my time, My family supported me in all of that.
Got you.
They made sure that, if this is what you want to do, we're going to do this. So they basically backed me up on everything that I did. Everything.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, so you going into your junior year? Mm-hmm. Are you more of a force now?
Yes.
Okay.
Not as the seniors doing the team, but they know that, okay, that's not me. I felt that's not my year, but my senior year, y'all better watch out because I was coming.
You coming.
So my senior year, it was just like, it was a takeover. A lot of my friends up here don't know, but some know. I broke the backboard in a high school game because I worked on my physicality.
What?
Yes. My mom still has it in a glass jar.
Wow.
Bertie High School versus Greenville Rose. I came straight down the middle and the whole backboard shattered. And you couldn't tell me nothing then.
So back then when that happens, what happens? Is the game over?
The game was over. It was third quarter. The game was over. So we all had to go home. But when I got home and then I sat in front of the TV and my mom, and I was, Mom, Dad, look what I did. And they was like, what? And they saw it and they was like,
oh, they played it on TV down there. Oh, man.
And first thing, God rest my dad, so he said, I'm not paying for that. But
I'm not paying for that.
But it was a shining moment for me. So then my mom would give me a key to another gym, and I broke the backboard in that school. So now, when I was in high school, it was chains on the backboard.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to do was I felt like a miniature Shaq. Before there was a Shaq, I felt like I was Shaq. I was trying to break every backboard I could because it made me feel good that I see my game finally coming along and I feel good.
And you're getting powerful.
Yes.
Okay.
But the funny part about it, I wasn't this big. As a senior, I was even 200 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. But see, that come from being down south. My father would have me come outside cutting wood from scratch. Cutting the tree, cutting the wood, putting it in the pile.
So with the axe, oh, man.
He would have me doing,
Yeah, that's that natural workout.
Cut this grass, cut this grass, cut this grass. Then you come back home, you wash this car. I'm going to have you're not going to sit around and not do nothing. I'm going to keep you busy to work on you, getting your strength and conditioning together.
Yeah.
Because my dad would go to work at 4 in the morning, come out 4 at night, let's go shoot.
Okay.
So he gave me the drive. He gave me the motivation. My biological was the same way. Okay. They gave me the drive, this is what you're going to do. Okay. You're not going to sit here and settle because you got potential and you can take yourself out of Bertie County.
Right. Wow. So now that senior year, given the opportunity, did you take full advantage of it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I took full advantage of my senior year. I went all out my senior year. We may have lost, I want to say, the most 5 games that year. Okay. But in Bertie County, it goes by conferences. It was 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. We were 3A.
Okay.
So we lost against 4A competition. We lost against Jerry Stackhouse, and when he was at Kinston.
Oh, okay. So y'all played against Jerry Stackhouse?
When he was at Kinston, he was a monster.
Wow.
So,
wow.
And that's
now, did he play big or?
Jerry actually played 3 and 4.
Okay.
But he was a monster.
Okay.
So when you play against teams like that, you're looking for a fight. I mean, they're going to give you everything because we're 4A, we top notch.
You top notch.
Anything else is uncivilized. We don't know y'all.
Yeah.
So it built us as a team. For Bertie, it built us as a team. And we were on the map as one of the top teams in the conference.
Mm-hmm. Now, how would you you playing against Jerry Stackhouse? How would you fare that, your overall game was against them?
It was competitive, but at the same time, they were a force also.
Right. They probably was deep, too.
They were deep.
Oof, I can imagine.
They were like OKC right now deep.
Wow.
They were deep. Like, you take off as Jerry Stackhouse, you coming in with another Jerry Stackhouse. It's just and he's trying to make a name because he's under him.
He's under him.
Like,
so don't stop.
We had legit 5, but we only had a positive 3 to come off.
Mm.
And our front line was I was at 6'8". My buddy Win Wiggins was 6'6". Then we had a 2 guard, 6'5". Our point guard was 5'10". So we were a factor. You throw it up at the rim, we're going to get it.
You're going to get it.
But playing against Kinston, y'all can go get it there, but we can get y'all out here and outside the paint. Make y'all come outside and chase us.
Come out.
And that's how things roll with us. Like, it was trying to keep up with them guards and those big men who can actually dribble and go to the basket.
Got you. Now, it's funny you say that now, because we was talking, you were saying that, so now, like in the South, a big man will be kind of like a polished big man.
Yes.
And up here, the guards would be more, a little bit more flair to it.
Yes.
Would you consider like some of the, I don't want to say, special, but like a Stackhouse that can add a little pizzazz to his game?
Yes.
Was that a rarity down there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, Stackhouse went to a lot of big-time camps and had a big-time recruit, so he was 7 days a week working out.
Oh, okay.
Where Saturday and Sundays, we all went to the court where he was in gyms working.
He was in gyms. Okay.
He was going working on a lot of his games.
Wow. So now your senior year, you lost 5 games.
Yes.
Now, are you highly touted from schools?
Yes. I actually had signed a scholarship with East Carolina University where Blue Edwards attended. He went to Utah Jazz.
Okay.
And a teammate of mine, Lester Lyons, who's in the ECU Hall of Fame now, he went to ECU. So he talked to the coach, and they came and saw a couple of my games, and I got recruited.
Okay.
But, I was
ECU?
East Carolina University.
Okay.
But at the time, I was more focused on basketball than my books.
Gotcha.
So at that time, I had to transfer to a JUCO, which is Spartanburg Methodist College in South Carolina.
Okay.
See, out there, totally different. You got 2 years to make a name and do something for yourself, which was fine. My first year there, I played with James Scott, who used to play for the Miami Heat, but now he lives in Paterson, New Jersey.
Okay.
Played with talent out there. We won my first year there, we won a championship. 27-3.
Wow. Okay.
Second year, we didn't make it. We lost in the semifinals. I got an offer from a couple of schools, but then I saw Elizabeth City State University.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, wow, that's close to home, backyard. My mom and dad could come to the game, and I know I had family there.
Gotcha.
So I went to Elizabeth City, which, my family was my aunt Melvis Gillum. She went there. So I had family already there. A lot of the students I went to school with were at Elizabeth City. So it basically like a second Bertie High School for me.
Got you.
So I knew everybody.
It was home.
It was home.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Got you.
So I got there, it was a beautiful campus, still is, and just that HBCU experience just made me feel like, wow.
So were you thinking HBCU or just thinking school, and that just happened to be the school at the time?
I was just thinking school.
Okay.
I wasn't even thinking HBCU.
Okay.
Because, growing up down south, you want to go to the Duke, the North Carolina State, the Virginia. You want to go to the big name D1 schools. I heard Elizabeth City, but never actually visited to know about it or look up the history about it. Mm-hmm. But once I got there and I settled my feet in, and it was like just to walk on the campus and just see a sea of people, African Americans, mixed. I'm not just being one-sided, but just see a sea of people who really going to school and they're graduating with degrees. They're going to school being teachers, doctors, lawyers, judges. And I'm like, I never think, my mind was just focused basketball. I never thought about broadening my horizon to be like, hey, I could do this.
For sure.
And then, my Aunt Melvis was on campus, and she was like my second mom.
Yeah.
So my Aunt Melvis was there with me. She would always talk to me. She would call me man because I was so big at a young age. She was like, "What you want to do?" I said, "Auntie, I want to play basketball." And I went, I was on the team because I got a scholarship there, and I was on the team, and the team that we had was amazing. It was just to see the difference of players. Now you're getting the savvy players from not the upper city, but the closer city areas coming in and playing.
Okay.
I'm saying I was at power forward. Our center was 7'1". And I'm looking up at this guy, and he was a lefty, and he could handle the ball. And I'm like,
wow.
This dude like
7'1"?
Like a Derrick Coleman. I'm looking at him like, jeez. And it was like seeing that, and then finally getting a chance to play on the team, and you go to the CIAA tournament, and you see all these historic HBCUs. You go to a campus where you're seeing NBA players who came from the school, football players who came from the school. You be like, I never knew that.
Wow.
I just saw, we had a football player from Berkeley County, Tootie Robinson, who played for the St. Louis Cardinals. Came out of Berkeley County. And I'm like, wow, I never knew this. And I'm living this town.
You live in this town.
And didn't know it. And then you go to different campuses. Like I said, you go to Hampton, you see this picture of Rick Mahorn.
Yep.
You go to Virginia Union, you see a picture of Charles Oakley.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm watching these dudes on TV, and I never knew they came from historical black colleges.
And so at that time, were they considered D1? It was D2 at that time.
D2, yes.
Wow. That's and to think that players, athletes were going to the league from
yes
HBCU,
yes.
D2 at that.
D2 at that, and like I said, at that time, I was unaware because I just saw them on TV. I just watched the game, never knowing they went to a Virginia Union, Virginia State, Norfolk State, Hampton, Akron. I never, like Eric McNair, you never think he would come from Akron?
Right.
And I'm looking like, oh. So then
shout out to Akron. I got my family out in Akron.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm thinking like, wow, this is really cool. And I'm watching people who graduate and come back and still give back to the HBCUs.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Kenny Williams, when he was at Indiana Pacers, he would come back and practice with us on his off season.
Wow. So y'all getting full exposure too.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
And like I said, just being in an atmosphere and environment, it was unbelievable to see that and just to know like, wow, these schools, I heard about them, but like I said, as a young kid, you think of big time school.
Right.
You're not thinking HBCU, not to belittle HBCU school as all.
Yeah.
But you never realize that these schools produce just as much as D1.
Right. You don't realize how great it is until like someone like you go through it and like, wow, wait a minute, this is a gym right here.
Yes. And the gyms be packed, sold out, just like you would see on TV.
Really?
You would have sponsors coming in. You would have the president of the school sitting there. You would have every other president for other schools sitting there coming to watch each team play in each different gym. Wow.
That's amazing, man. Now how would you say you played 4 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
How was your 2 years?
It was beautiful. I loved it. I honestly loved it. And like I said, when I got a chance to experience that, and I look back at it now, like I wish I can, you always say, I wish I can go back and do this.
Yeah.
But just the path that I went on to go through that was just, I loved it. I loved it. And now I look at it now like my cousins, Tiffany and Tony, they went to A&T. My dad went to St. Paul. My father went to A&T. His twin brother went to A&T. So it was in my family genes to go to these schools, but like I said, I just focused basketball. I wasn't focused on HBCU, what it can provide, what can it do.
But it's almost like fate brought you there anyway.
And I'm glad it did. I'm really glad it did because it made me humble myself a lot.
Yeah.
Because I was on my high horse because I'm an athlete. I'm a basketball player.
Right.
But what if, knock on wood, something happened? What would you have to fall back on?
Exactly.
HBCU gives everybody, to me, it gives you the experience. Like if you don't make it here, you still have something to leave with.
Mm-hmm. You don't make it here, you can make it there. You can make it. There's other avenues we're going to carve out for you so you can go down.
Yes. And just the way, I'm seeing kids, guys come to their school and make the team as a walk-on. Because they were just that good, because they thought they couldn't go to this school. They came to Elizabeth City and they walked on and they made the team and they got playing time. And they always thought, man, I thought I wasn't gonna make it, but now look,
right?
These schools give a lot of people. I'm not gonna say people, everybody opportunities.
Wow. Now from there, did you go professional? You went overseas.
Yes.
Now how long was your stint there?
Oh, 5-6 years.
5-6 years.
It was. I loved it. You know, it was hard at first because you're going to a whole nother culture, a whole nother language, trying to learn it. You know, trying to get the values of what they're doing, and it's like you're walking around with a translator all day. You feel like a little kid walking with your parent. But he's translating for you.
Okay.
And that experience was really good. It made me look back like this school provided me the recognition to get here.
Got you.
Like it provided Kenny Williams to get to the NBA.
Yeah.
It provides you different avenues. Like a lot of people don't understand, HBCUs have a lot of G League teams looking at them, overseas teams looking at them. Just the footage alone, when it gets out there, it goes from this place to this place to this place.
Open so many doors for you.
And when the doors open, you could see the letters coming to your house, to your parents' house, to the school.
Wow. Now who were some of the players that you know maybe became prominent that you played against in at the HBCU or even overseas?
Prominent, like I said, I played against Ben Wallace when he was at Virginia Union. And
what was that like, man?
Ben was.
How tall is he really?
Ben is 6'5". I'm not going to
6'5",
6'6" the most. But
really?
his arms are like gasoline hose. His jumping ability is like Gerald Green through the roof.
He played like a 7-footer though. Like
I seen him dunk on our 7-foot center, and I was just like, "No, I'm good."
Really?
Yes. And all he could do was the same thing I could do: just rebound, block shots. He wouldn't shoot a jump shot. He knew the limits of his game.
Okay.
If anything in that paint, you jumping over everybody. You grabbing every rebound. He was CRAA Player of the Year twice. All defensive team twice. He was just that good.
So he really was a problem.
He really was a problem.
To even make it, you know how some players they reach their ceiling because of being undersized and stuff like that, but
no, not him.
Wow.
I mean, I remember Ben Wallace, bald head Ben Wallace, before he got the bulk.
Yeah.
He was just a phenom. He could just, his vertical had to be at least 40 to 50 easy, flat-footed. Second jump was just boom, boom, boom.
Man, because you think, when I think of Ben Wallace, I think, all right, 6'9", 6'10".
No.
He's like a Barkley, undersized almost.
Undersized Barkley, but he just know he know what to do with his game.
Mm.
You can tell when his coach talked to him, he would tell him right there.
Wow.
Defensively, they can run a zone, but it'll be a 4-1 zone, which they call Ben. You stay in the middle, everybody zone outside. Because if you come in to lay it and try to lay it up, it's going in the third, fourth row. He got me one time. I tried to do a hook. When I looked, I was like,
wait, you trying to do a hook?
A hook
shot. Like that might be the easiest shot because you shoot from the outside.
His timing was just that good. He would time it at the peak. And I was like, okay, I changed this up. Ben was a problem. He was a monster. And I give him much respect for what he did coming from Virginia Union.
Yep.
Followed the shadows of Charles Oakley, and now look what he did.
Wow.
Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA. 2 championships in the NBA.
I think he made the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And do we consider him undersized?
For playing the center, playing against like the Shaqs and the Yao Mings, yeah.
I mean, we know like now when you look at the number, he's undersized, but he didn't play small at all. Like
he didn't. When I tell you Ben goes all out, he goes all out. There's no. Wow. He's on an Energizer Bunny the whole game. He don't stop. If he subbed out one time, it was probably during halftime or a timeout.
That's it.
He would run nonstop.
Wow.
But we were the only team that beat him. We got lucky.
I got lucky.
We beat him one time.
Okay.
But the second time, I don't even want to remember the score, man. It was just that bad. It was that bad. But he was the tallest player on that team. But they were all athletes. They all jumpers. Their coach was amazing the way he had them playing.
Wow. That is amazing. You know, here's the thing too, you know, because some players can psych themselves out like if you are undersized, thinking, oh man, these guys is way bigger than me, but when you know, like, you know, obviously, you got to have the confidence, but then when you coach, instill that confidence and
they gave him heart.
Yeah.
He wasn't scared of anything. He didn't back down for anything.
Anything. Wow. So you go overseas. And you said that was a good experience because the HBCU kind of like prepped you and prepared you for that.
Yes. And I was over there one summer, and I'm seeing this guy, and I'm looking across, and we talking, we having a conversation, and his name was Will Davis.
Wow. Shout out to Will Davis. Hey, man, we got to get you up here.
And we having a whole conversation. We talking. I think he was playing in Argentina.
Okay.
Argentina. I don't remember, but it was because back then you were on, you had 2 Americans on your team.
Okay.
The rest were the European players.
Oh, so that was like the criteria. You got to have 2. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a status quo back then.
Got you.
So it was. When you go to these different places, you see different, 2 other Americans. You feel like, hey, you want to blend in. You want to take all their time because.
For sure.
Everybody on the team, they're speaking their own language. Some spoke some English, but it was predominantly French.
Okay.
So when you see these other American guys, you want to just chit chat, talk, laugh. Where are you from? I'm from here.
Yeah.
It went like that.
Wow. And that's was it crazy when you actually when you get to Waterbury, you bump into him here?
Oh my goodness! I was playing. Me and Rufus Freeman was hanging out.
Shout out to Rufus, Caner alum.
And we were talking, and we were on Wood Street, and Will came down, and he was like, "This is my man, Will Davis." And we looked at each other. We was like, "Oh man,
get out of here!"
And we started talking. We started bonding, and started playing basketball. He used to take me to the YMCA in the mornings. My boy Jermaine Wallace used to take me to YMCA in the mornings. The Will and
Wallace.
Like I said, that's when I first met, the legend Phil Lott.
Yes. Shout out to Phil.
I mean, that dude right there.
Oh, man.
First time I played against him, I never seen nothing like it.
Really?
And I didn't know he was a lefty.
Oh, man.
So I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but he tore my butt up. Phil gave me the business the first time I saw him.
Really?
And then I started playing against like Phil, Parker. I started playing against a lot of Waterbury legends.
Yes.
And I was like, there's some talent up here. And you'll never know.
Right. Waterbury has a lot of talent.
Yes.
A lot of talent that came through these streets in the Waterbury area.
Yes. And then, after those guys, I was younger than Phil and them. So once they started playing, then I started playing with Edmund Saunders.
Ed, yep. Shout out to Ed.
Then from Ed, I started playing with the Saunders brothers. My
yep.
bro. Got love for my boy Dave Saunders.
That's my boy, man. Both of them, man. Love them guys.
I love Dave
man.
and them. Those my boys.
Those
I
my
got
brothers,
love for
man.
So I started playing with them. Like them Jay Johnson.
Jay.
Devon Parker.
Yep.
Played with Devon.
I'm doing this thing coaching at Wilby. Shout out to Wilby.
I went to one of his games when he was at UB, putting up numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I playing with those guys. I played with a lot of talent in Waterbury, and just to look at it now, I'm like, coming from a small town, coming to a city, Waterbury, I'm like, these dudes got game.
Yeah.
And it was good to see these guys, and we still see each other. We, still build a bond. We still talk.
Mm-hmm.
But just to actually say that I played with these guys made me feel good, like I was playing back home. Like I can say I played against Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
But now I come up and say I played against Phil Lott, Devon Parker,
the
Saunders brothers, Edmund Saunders. I played against some real talent that's been through Waterbury.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. What would you, so going through the HBCU route, right? What are some of the gyms that you would tell like some of the kids that's juniors, seniors in high school looking for maybe that, a big college from Connecticut or a big college from, a bigger name institution to go to? Like, what would you tell them about like what not to overlook with an HBCU?
Don't overlook the sports or what it can give you educational-wise.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, I feel, I'm just not talking about Waterbury, people feel like they can't make these big-name schools. They feel like they can't do anything else.
Yes.
But the HBCUs offer a lot of things that some of these schools don't offer. Like, you can get Pell Grants. Like, you can go to school on a Pell Grant.
Gotcha. I was going to say, is it harder to get in? Because
actually, it's not.
Like, even if you're not an athlete or if you're going to say, I want to go to school and maybe walk on, like, is it?
It's not hard at all.
Okay.
The requirements for those schools, for HBCU, are not hard.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of schools, there's a lot of people that I know growing up down south who couldn't really afford to send their school kids to college because how much it costs.
Right.
So a lot of them wind up going to the HBCUs, and then they get an educational free ride. and they were out there. And like when I see a couple of guys around playing ball, I ask them, "Have you heard of HBCUs?" They were like, "Nah." Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I asked them, if you don't feel like you can make it to like a UConn or a school, what do you feel like you want to do? Okay. Oh, we can go to Southern, which I don't have nothing against Southern. None of the schools around here. I said, you want to leave Connecticut just to see what it's like to go to another school just to see the education and what you can do? And they never thought about it.
Right.
Sometimes
it's not even a thought.
It's not talked about. Sometimes it's not even talked about.
Exactly.
So when I talk to a lot of kids about it, and I see them and I talk to them about it, they have the look of confusion, not because they don't know, but maybe it's not talked about.
It's not talked about enough.
Yes.
Okay.
So with me going to one and my family heavily into one, like I call my sister, Elizabeth City graduate. We talk about the homecomings, and I try to talk to the kids about the homecoming. I talk to them about the CIAA tournament. It's a Black Fest basically.
Man, that's. Did they move it? They moved it from. Moved it. Where they move it to though?
I can't remember where it was.
That's a bucket list, man. I gotta get to one of them because I've been hearing about it, man.
Listen,
but
when you go to an HBCU CIAA tournament,
yeah,
it's like everything you can find in one gym, from the parents, the sponsors, the supporters, the presidents, the TV cast. These games are televised on TV now that they were never before.
Wow.
And you even got the women. I don't want to disclose the women either. The women basketball tournament is just as good.
Wow.
You got 10 schools, 10 teams inside of one gym.
Okay.
Playing for that one trophy.
That one trophy.
And you got to best believe those guys are playing hard, not for that trophy, but to make a name for themselves, to be looked at from overseas, the NBA, the G League. These guys are going 100% just so they can get that notoriety.
So now they got the eyes on them now.
Yes.
They got the eyes on them.
So once they get the eyes on them, now you get the phone calls coming in to the schools. The schools calling the parents. The parents are getting interested. Oh, this place wants my son, my daughter to go do this.
Wow.
Track and field is the same way now. Gymnastics is coming up big in HBCUs now.
Wow, track and field too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So say you have a kid here that's probably not getting a lot of interest from different schools. How would they go about getting their name on that HBCU circuit? Like, how would they?
You could send your resume as far as like your stats in your high school career, your grades, even send footage of yourself.
You can send footage of yourself?
Yes, send them to these schools. Okay. You'll be amazed. These schools, a lot of these HBCU schools, they don't disclose, okay, we got this tape with this kid. No, they look at it.
Okay.
Because a lot of these schools see potential that a lot of other schools don't.
Got you.
Or I'm not going, like I said, he's come from this area, not enough money. How they going to support the school? How they going to support the kid on scholarship? Them grades can speak for themselves. That film footage can speak for themselves. Those stats can speak. So you got 3 elements right there that can get this male or female into the HBCU.
Hey, listen, I want you to repeat that. Y'all hearing this back at home? It's not no end all be all if you don't get into the schools around here or something like that. There's other options, HBCUs, and there's ways in which saying you get to play, but you can get an education. I hope you guys are listening because he's breaking it down.
Because it's a lot of avenues. You can look at it as you can go there with your GPA being a certain status of 3 point something.
Okay.
You can get into those schools.
Okay.
The SAT scores can put you in those schools.
Okay.
And like I said, you can go to the schools without a major, starting without a major, and by your sophomore, junior, you're majoring in something. And you can leave with that degree as a doctor, lawyer, teacher, judge.
Yeah.
My cousin Tony left A&T. She's a teacher now. She's about to be the principal for the school.
Wow.
Off of HBCU scholarship.
Wow.
They're out there. If you look at a lot of Black Americans who are in business, Black-owned business, some started HBCU with a business degree. My brother-in-law, Sanchez Mobley, has his own construction company. He went to Winston-Salem State.
Wow.
He had him and my sister have a house built from the ground up from what he went to school for.
Really?
Off of HBCU, he went there. He didn't play no sports.
Oh, and didn't play no sports?
My brother-in-law Sanchez didn't play no sports, none. we talk about sports all the time. He's a Redskin fan. Unfortunately, I'm a Cowboys, but we talk about sports. But he went to West Salem State, came out with a degree, got his own construction company, him and his brother, doing it. Black-owned businesses, a lot of them come from HBCUs that don't recognize, and they come from these schools and doing it.
I have a question. Let me see. Let me see if I can word this right. Okay, how do you think the correlation between guidance counselor in the northern states not initiating HBCU attendance and there not being any HBCU in the northern eastern region of the United States?
I would say because a lot of guidance counselors here, they don't look at HBCU as hard as you would down south.
Okay.
Because, like I said, some guidance counselor we have this school here, we have this school here. But I feel as a guidance counselor, you want your student to expand their horizon from the area they're in.
Gotcha.
You can always learn from Waterbury. You can always learn from New Haven. You can always learn from Burke T. County, where I'm from. Expand your horizon. Go to a whole nother state.
Okay.
Get the feel of what you can do in that school. You can go in that school and be an engineer and come out and don't have to come back to where you're from, but start your own business out there.
Got you.
And you can start anywhere with the experience. Your guidance counselor has to teach you these things, have to install these things into you. Even if they have a book of HBCUs starting from Maryland on down. Okay. The closest one here is Wilberforce in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, but you think, kids not going to, that's Ohio. That's no. But, okay, you don't want to go there. There's another option. Here's Hampton. Here's A&T. Here's this school. Here's this school. Have a book of HBCUs that can show you what you can go to school for. There's some kids who are going to be a chemist, can go to an HBCU.
Wow.
It's out there, but some of the school system here have to put that in because when I went to my high school, our guidance counselors talked about HBCUs.
They talked about it. See,
yes.
and I don't think a lot of them talk about it in this area because those schools aren't really in this area.
Yes, they're not. And a lot of my guidance counselors were in fraternities. Like they were Omegas, they were Kappas. The female counselors were Deltas, They were fraternities. They were in fraternities, so they would put that in there as a extra point. Like, if you go to school, you can become this. And then they'll give you a platform of what the Omegas does, the Kappas does, the Zetas does, the Deltas does. You can be a part of a second family in a fraternity.
Got you.
And if you're an Omega and I'm an Omega, we can sit down and talk. You can be like, listen, I have this person right here that can, we can plug you in with this because you're in our brotherhood or you're in our sisterhood.
Got you.
The opportunities are there, but it starts from the high school. It has to start from the high school for this guidance counselor to say, what do you want to go to school for? And if the student tells you, boom, I can turn to Bowie State. Well, Bowie State has this, what you're looking for.
Right.
You may want to look into it. And
right.
If the guidance counselor would do, okay, take this home to your parents, let your parents read and tell me what they think about it. They can give me a call, and we can discuss what you want to go to school for. And some they'll go to college undecided, without a major.
Without a major, right.
And
General studies.
General studies.
General studies.
And then once they get into the school, they see what they're like, and then be like, okay, now they can go to the academic office. I want to major in this. And then once you major in that, you already in the school, so you just pick up that class.
Start taking those courses.
And go from your whole 4 years there. Come out with a degree, and there's your path laid for you.
Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It gives more information and insight to kids that didn't even think beyond a certain region. It's like, wow, I can really go away, or it's not as hard as we might think it might be to, like you said, just send your clips, send your films, send your GPA, send your resume to some of these schools.
It's just like you fill out a job application. You send your best. You do your best so you can send your best, so these schools can see the best in you.
Got you.
Because these schools are, I'm going to say, directed for improving your path of life. It's just not to be you are a number in our school.
Okay.
Eric went to Norfolk State. Look what he's done.
Right.
Now Eric can come back to Norfolk State and have some of these, when they have the alumni things, they can come back and be like, okay, I started here.
Yeah.
I did this. What do you think about it? So you're giving back to what you came from. My mom instilled that into me and my sister. You give back where you came from. And she always say, never forget where you come from.
Never. Because that's a lot of where we come from is what mold us.
Yes.
Who we are, and we just, we get them wings. Sometimes we can fly away and make our stamp and our imprint in other areas, but we got that tutelage from home.
Tutelage from home. Like I said, you see, like Kent Bazemore is from our hometown. He used to play for Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
He comes back to Bertie and gives a free basketball class in Bertie County.
Oh, wow.
But since he's in the G League, he's still doing his thing. I follow him on Facebook, but he has a street named after him in Bertie County. It says, "Welcome to Roxville, home of Kent Bazemore."
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
People, you want to give back. And that's why I say when you go to these schools, make sure whatever you major in, keep that your major. And you can double your major if you want to.
Got you.
But it's out there for any student, the HBCU is out there for them.
HBCU.
It will broaden your horizon, and it will make you see things differently from these top name schools that you feel like you don't want to consider yourself a failure, but these schools can give you an opportunity to be like, I went to the school and I did that.
Right.
But this other school didn't accept me. I went here, now look.
Right. Like you said, it broaden your horizon, and it allows you to grow.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And plant seeds along the way for other people to grow.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And wow, that's excellent. And like you said earlier, what it sounds like what I'm getting from you is the HBCUs. Not to say you don't get from other institutions, right? But it can give you the tools that you need to excel in other areas of life.
Yes.
Beyond that,
Yes.
like, you know what I mean? It's giving you the tools and the power and the resources of knowledge to exceed and succeed in other areas of life.
Yes.
Like you might play college here, but then boom, maybe you go to the NBA, maybe not, but maybe you go to the G League, maybe you go overseas. But you still have
those opportunities
tools that you got from there.
Yes. Like I said, even if you don't play a sport.
Even if you don't play a sport.
It's still out there for you. Sky's the limit no matter what you do with it. These schools give you the opportunity, and they're not looking for you say you went to Norfolk State, say you went to Elizabeth City. They're not looking for that. Okay. They're looking for you to thrive, and then you pass the word on. You can have a group meeting, be like, look, I got my degree from this school, and I did this, and now look what I have.
Got you.
Now other kids look like, wow, I want to try this. I want to do this. So that's why when I'm up here, I always talk about my HBCU experience and the schools itself.
Yes.
Because some people need just to get away so they can spread their wings. Some need to get away so they can be like, I left here, look what I have now, I can come back and I can spread the word of knowledge of I went here and got my degree.
Because here's the thing, just because you're leaving for a period of time don't mean you can't come back.
Exactly.
You just leave for a period of time, you can come back and, hey, go check that out and then come back. Go check that out and come back, So it's not like you're leaving to never come back. Now, you might have an opportunity where you can come back to visit. Or you might say, hey, I got my information here and I'm bringing what I learned here back home.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's great that, your experience and that you're able to speak your experience to, people that come in contact with you, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's great information for kids that's getting ready to go down these paths to know there's a couple roads you can take. And also parents, because a lot of times the kids are only going as far as the parents their knowledge and their finances can take them.
Yes.
If you're not recruited or something like that, and most kids aren't nowadays, you know what I mean? So it's, giving the parents the knowledge and information. Oh, okay, let's look into that. Let's see if that works. And just, like I said, giving them another resource, another avenue to kind of like consider. I think that's great. I think they need to hear that. I like the fact that you're visible too. Yeah. You're around. You out here. Yes. They can come up to you and ask you these questions if they see you. You know what I mean?
I'll have no problem.
That's good.
I have no problem. Like I said, it's true what you said. You see a lot of guys, male and female, who don't get recruited, and they feel like, I'm not gonna say all is lost, but they feel like They don't have an opportunity.
These
HBCUs, just look into them. Just go through all of them you can think of. If you don't want to send your child too far out, look at the ones that's closer, like in Maryland, Virginia area. Look there.
Yeah.
See what they offer. See what they have.
Yeah.
Send your resume, send your grades, send your stats, send your film, send your footage there. Yeah. You'll get a call because if this school don't take you, that film footage goes to another school.
Oh, somebody gonna snatch you up.
Somebody gonna say, "Oh,
we can use this. We can use this.
We can use this. We can use a student that know how to do math and science and can get a degree and become a teacher." It ain't always gotta be about sports.
It ain't always gotta be about sports. That's right. That's right. That's true, man. Hey, man, I guess we're gonna get ready to wrap this up, but where can people, bump into you at nowadays?
Nowadays, I'm always around. It's just like my Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I'm in Derby with the guys in the senior run.
The senior run.
That's my man Bernard McNair. Like I said, you got the greats out there like Bobby Moore, Earl Kelly.
You know
what I'm saying? You got the greats, legends that come out there and play. A lot of them from Bridgeport, Stanford area, but I'm always around if anybody got any questions.
Let me ask you this. Do they have to be in legend form when they go out there? Because a lot of us done got old, man.
Trust me. It's not, legend form is good, but it's for the cardio.
Okay, all right.
It's for the cardio.
Okay.
And then you can hear the stories of these guys who say they've done this, and this is who I am.
Yes, okay.
And that's why I run into. I'm always going out there getting knowledge from those guys who actually done it, played it, and who are the legends of the game.
Yes, for sure. And where's this at?
The Derby Veteran Center in Derby.
Derby Veteran Center in Derby, y'all. Y'all got to go check that out. My boss that's 45 and up, go check it out. Bring some sneaks.
And Bengay.
And Bengay. You're going to need that. And also, too, I mean, you've done, like, at the Chase Park House, last year, I think you did the
Open Gym.
Open Gym.
Yeah, I try to do that because, like I said, a lot of schools or gyms you really can't get because it's who you know.
For sure.
So I try to get the guys together. If I can't get a gym inside, I try to do it outside.
Okay.
I tell a guy, if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see I get the guys outside to play ball in the summer. Bring your kids to the North End Rec. You got the playground back there in the back. Mm-hmm. Bring your chairs, bring your coolers. And we be out there from 9 to 12.
Wow, okay.
And the guys get out there and just get a chance to play,
Yes.
I had some of the veterans like T-Lock coming out there playing, putting in work.
Yeah, for sure. T-Lock get out there, have you laughing, though.
Yeah, oh my goodness, T-Lock's my boy. But
yes.
You get the guys out there, it's something to do on Sunday mornings. By the time you finish, you got time to go home, shower, you watch the football games, you get to spend time with the family. It's just that early morning cardio, it's something to do.
That's it, something to do. And it's healthy, too.
Absolutely.
It's healthy.
9 in the morning, you figure you get that morning sweat, that morning run in. Then after that, the rest of the day is yours to do what you feel like. That's me. That's something I like to do for the guys around the area.
For sure, definitely. But we're gonna stay tuned for when you get that going.
Oh, absolutely. I'm trying to get it back as soon as possible. I'm trying to go downtown. Me and my boy Dane, we was talking. Maybe try to talk to those people. We can get the gym, do it on Sunday mornings like we used to.
Okay.
Of course, you got they charge for the gym, but
yeah,
the guys come there, they get a chance just to play.
Yeah,
because really nowhere else to play now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And for the people that's watching, how can they follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Bernard Cooper.
Bernard Cooper. Okay.
Any questions about HBCUs, you can inbox me up there.
Okay.
Anything you need to know about the experience, like I said, my family's deep into it. If I can't answer it, I can always pick up the phone, call my sister, call my other family members who've been to these schools.
And that's comforting in itself to, you can get an answer for me.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Well, listen, man, I thank you for, chopping it up with me.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure, man, and, I'm glad you was able to share this knowledge, man, because when we was talking, I was like, yo, man, my listeners got to hear this. They got to hear it, man. I thank you for, stopping by, chopping it up a little bit, and giving that gem that the city needs, because I want to see more of our younger generation, excel, because there's so much potential. I don't want to see it get lost into the streets or, unhealthy lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to see the younger generation that's coming up now and to have a chance, get up out of here. They don't even necessarily got to leave, but get up to the point where you can continue flying.
Take your potential.
You know what I mean?
Potential out, and then it's out there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, hey, y'all, there it is. Y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? It's another great episode of Run It Back. I hope y'all was back there taking y'all notes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's going to be on YouTube, so you can, rewind it, do whatever you got to do. But thanks for joining in for another episode of Run It Back. This is Eric Luan signing off. Take care.